Okay, on number 24, the area of a face of a cube can be found by evaluating. Alright, key word is the evaluating. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this expression, v to the 2/3 power, and it says v is the volume. So therefore, what is the area of a face of a cube with a volume of 27 cubic centimeters? Well, you're going to replace that right there for v. So you're going to have 27 to the 2/3 power. Now remember, this is your index. So that would be the cube root of 27. Well, the cube root of 27 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And there's 3 3's, right? Now, take that square, and you're going to square your answer. So 3 squared is 9. And there you go. 9 centimeters will be your answer. Or actually, it's the area, so 9 centimeters squared. Number 25 is just like number 24. What you're going to do is you're going to take the formula, S equals 10. Now, T represents time in months. So if we're saying 27 months, you're simply going to replace. So 27 and then to the 2/3 power. Now, we're going to work on this part right here. So I'm going to write this as 10. Now remember, when you have an index of 3, that means the cube root of 27. And then we're going to square it. Okay, so let's do that first. Bring down your 10. The cube root of 27 is 3. Then you're going to square it, and that's going to be 9. So 10 times 9 is actually 90. So the price of the stock is $90. Number 26, what is the range of the relation but represented on the mapping? Remember, this is your domain, this is your range. So your range is going to be y equals -1 and 4. Remember, these are brackets to indicate a set. On number 27, which of the following is a function? Remember, your x's can only repeat once. So if you notice, there's 1x. The 2 doesn't repeat, the 4 doesn't repeat, the 6 doesn't repeat, and the 8 doesn't repeat. However, if you look at B, 2 repeats as an x value twice. So the answer choice in this is A. Okay, on number 28, we're looking for the 20th term. So basically, you want to find when f of 20. So you're going to replace n with 20. So 3 times 20 minus 3. 20 minus 3 is 17. So you're in with 3 times 17, which is 51. On number 29, what is the value of f of x equals x divided by 2 plus 8 when x is -20? So what you're going to do is you're going to substitute that -20 in for x. So you're going to get -20 divided by 2, and you're going to add 8. So that becomes -10 plus 8, which is -2. On number 30, it's asking what is the equation in slope-intercept. Remember, this is y equals mx plus b. So let's find their slope, and let's find their y-intercept. Well, it's easy to find the y-intercept. There's the y-intercept right there at -4. So I know this is going to be -4. I'm going to go ahead and put my x down. All right, so now the last thing I need to find is slope. Well, remember, in order to find slope, we're going to find rise and run. So we're going to go to this point. So in order to go up, from here to here, we go up 4 units. And then go from left to right, we go 5 units. So the slope is rise over run of 4 over 5, and they're both positive. So I'm simply going to put 4 over 5 here. So y equals 4/5 x minus 4. Okay, on 31, this shouldn't be too difficult, but I'm going to do it first. You know that 13 minus something has to equal 0. Well, I know that 13 minus 13 equals 0. So whatever I boxed in, x over 2 has to equal 13. Well, when I multiply both sides by 2, I end up getting x is equal to 26. Well, that's one way of doing it. The other method of working it is, let me go ahead and clear that out of the way. And the other method is when you take 13 minus x over 2 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. That's a 13. That's gone. So I'm left with negative x over 2 equals negative 13. Well, I'm going to get rid of that negative and that 2 by multiplying both sides by negative 2. Well, that's gone, and that negative 2 is gone. That leaves me with x equals, and negative 13 times negative 2 is a positive 26, which is what I got previously. Now, on number 32, which values make s squared plus 2r equal 40 true? So, I got to find out what combination of s over here makes that true. And if you look at C, C is going to be my answer. Okay, so C is my answer. If you'll notice, S is 6, so that's going to be 6 squared, plus 2, and R is 2. So 6 squared is 36. 2 times 2 is 4. 36 plus 4 is 40, and that's my answer. Now remember, in domain are your x values, and you only list them once. Well, in this case, my domain is, let me put in my set, 3, 6, and 8. Alright, so 3, 6, and 8. Okay, on number 34, it might seem a little confusing, but if you think about these, the question is asking, how much money does Gina have? Well, we know she has $20. She has a $20 bill, and she has a $50 bill, okay? Well, the D is going to represent how many $20 bills, so it's 20 times D. Alright, so that represents how much money she's going to have when we count all her $20 bills. But also, we need to add how many $50 bills. Well, I know that she has D amount of $20 bills, but she will also have 2 more than the amount of $20 bills. So if we add 2 there, this is our expression. 20 times D gives us the amount of money she has with $20 bills, plus D plus 2, because she has 2 $50 bills more than $20 bills, times 50. And that would give you your total amount. Okay, on 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39, you're basically just matching up the properties, okay? Now, first of all, if you look at it, you have an addition, addition, and then distributive. Let's do the distributive because that seems to be the odd one out. So the one that is distributing is C, because if you do 2 times 3, again, there it is, 2 times 3, and then of course 2 times 6. So the number 39 is C. Now, let's look at the inverse property. Remember, when you add an inverse to to a number, or a number and its inverse together, you end up getting 0. So the one that does that is going to be D. Okay, 4 and the inverse of 4 is negative 4, and when you add them together, you get 0. So that answer right there is D. Now, the additive inverse, all right, when you add a number to 0, you'll get that same number. Well, that answer choice is B, because when you add anything to 0, it's itself. So that's going to be B. Now, the last two are going to be A and E. Well, one is the associative property, the other is commutative property. Remember, associative property is the one where the parentheses move around. So that's going to be answer choice E. So answer choice E is number 35. Oops, let me rewrite that. Alright, that's going to be E. Therefore, that leaves A to be the commutative. And remember, they're only switching the 3 and the 4 here. So 3 plus 4 is the same as 4 plus 3. On number 40, we're simply simplifying these expressions. So we've done this before. So if I take 64 to the 2/3 power, and we're going to divide it by 16 to the 1/2 power. Let's go step by step. Okay. Remember, this is your index. So it's the cube root of 64, and then we're going to square it. Down below, we're taking the square root of 16, and then take it to the first power. Remember, that's your root. That's your 3 is your root. So the cube root of 64 means 4 times 4 times 4. So the cube root of 64 is 4. Bring over your square. The square root of 16 is 4. So 4 to the first power. Now you have a couple of options. You can either, since they have like basis, you can subtract the exponents, Or you can simply put this as 16, this is 4, and then reduce, because 4 goes into 16 4 times, and so the answer choice is 4. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that and work on number 41. Solve the inequality, and we need to graph the solution set. Okay? So negative 5p plus 2 is greater than or equal to 22. Remember, it's just like an equation. So I'm going to get p by itself, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. That's gone. I'm left with negative 5p is greater than or equal to 20. I'm then going to divide by negative 5 because it's a multiplication. Alright, and I get p. Now remember, when you divide or multiply by a negative number, the sign switches, and 20 divided by negative 5 is negative 4. So, just draw yourself a number line, put negative 4 in the middle. We know it's solid because of the inequality. And I need all the numbers that are less than negative 4, and that is to the left. Okay, on 42, basically, Kenneth's mother gave him 3 times the amount of money that he already has. Well, if Kenneth has this amount of money, his mother gave him 3 times that. Alright? Now, be careful. Kenneth's mother, now he has this amount of money. Then this, so here's Kenneth's stuff. Here's what his mom gave him. And when you add it together, he now has $2,100. So be careful. It's not just 3x, but it's what Kenneth gave, it's what Kenneth has, and what his mom gave him. That combines to give you $2,100. Well, when you combine those, what happens is 3x plus x gives you 4x. Alright, so that gives you 4x. Let me write that down. Oops, there we go. 4x equals 2,100. Those two combined give you 4x. So we're going to divide by 4, and let's do some long division. So remember, 2,100. If you don't have a calculator, just put that 4 right there. Here we go. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20. Subtract, you get 1. Bring down a 0. Well, you know what? I know that 4 goes in 100 25 times, so it's going to be $525. And that's how much Kenneth has. Okay, on number 43, basically we're trying to find, use the function to find the x and y intercepts. We're going to graph the function, and we're going to explain what the x and y intercepts represent. So, this is the gallons of gas that he has, all right, or that K has. All right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to put this f of x. I'm going to write the equation down twice. Okay. So f of x equals 15 minus 1/2 x. Let me write that a little bit better. Alright, so now, on the one on the left, what we're going to do is we're going to find when x is equal to 0. Alright, so we're going to find when x is equal to 0, what is y? And then on the right here, we're going to find out when y is equal to 0. So those are going to be my intercepts. So now, when I plug in, remember, another name for f of x is y. Y equals 15 minus 1/2 times 0. So notice we plug that in right there. Okay, let me go ahead and erase that. Alright, now, this cancels out, and I'm left with 15. So when x is 0, y is 15. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to put a nice solid dot there. Let's do a thick dot right here. Let's make it a little thicker. Okay. So about right there. Alright? It's not a very good dot, but it's about the best we're going to do right now. Now, let's go ahead and go back to this. I'm going to plug in a 0 for y. So 15 minus 1/2 x. Well, I'm going to get rid of the 15. And I get negative 15 equals negative 1/2 x, because those 15s are gone. I'm going to multiply by negative 2 on both sides. And that 1/2 and negative is gone, so I'm left with x equals negative 2 times negative 15 is positive 30. So I'm going to put a plot at 30. Okay, so at 30, let's make it a little bit better. So plot at 15, plot at 30. Now, only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect that line. All right. There we go. There's our graph. So when x is 0, y is 15. And when y is 0, x is 30. Okay? So these are my 2 points. Now what do they mean? Well, remember, these are days and these are gallons. Days, gallons. So at 0 days, we're going to start off with 15 gallons. Then in 30 days, we will have 0 gallons. Okay, the last problem, number 44. We need to complete the table and graph it. Alright, so when you plug in -2, so I get -3 minus 2, we're going to plug in the -2 there, equals y. So we're going to do this first. So -2 times -2 is +4, so -3 plus 4. Alright, and that's going to be +1. Okay? Then, so basically what you would write here is, alright, we'll do the same thing here. -3 minus 2 times -1. And then -3 minus 2 times 0. And then -3 minus 2 times 1. Alright, now I'm going to plug this over here. So -3 minus 2 times -1. Well, this right here multiplies to give me 2. So -3 plus 2. So that's going to give me -1. And then I'm going to do this one. So that's 0. So that's going to be 0 times -3 is 0. Oh, I apologize. That's a minus. So that should be -3. Okay, that should be -3 minus 0. This is a minus, not a times. So this last one right here, you end up getting -3 minus 2 times 1. So -3 minus 2, so that's a -5. Now, if you notice, we have -2, 1, -1, -1, 0, -3, and 1, -5. Let's go ahead and plot those points. So at -2, 1, it's going to be about right there. Okay, -1, -1, be about right there. 0, -3, about right there. And then 1, -5, about right there. And let me go ahead and plot that graph. Okay, and it's going to be about right there. And there you have it.